Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your before we start, thank you for those of you that pledged towards my Kickstarter. It truly does mean the world to me, and I'm so very grateful for all of your support on that. If you know anyone that would still like to get a goodie, they can do so on the link in the description box below. And if you haven't got your seat yet for the winter solstice session, you can do so on the link in the description bar. If you've ever wanted an FLP session with me, you can get that and so much more for a fraction of the price. Trust me, you do not want to miss this, because we'll be tapping into the magic of the solstice itself, which this year, as you've been hearing about, because the internet is awash with it, right? So with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So with that said, for your key to the week this week, you have the Judgment card. Culmination, completion, and movement towards massive change. Are you ready? Whether you are, whether you aren't, it is here. All right, so this is huge stuff for you guys, especially for those of you that are like ascendant Scorpios, because the powerful eclipse that's happening right out of the gate at the beginning of this week is happening in your 12th house. So right, this is going to bring up so much for you. And what I'm chatting rubbish. It's going to be happening in your second house, which is all to do with your money, right? So even that in itself as well is going to change a lot for you. I think this could be a really powerful time of you letting go of maybe some era of financial hardship or challenges. I think for a lot of you as well, this is really going to powerfully align you with what your values are now. In the here and now, not what they were, not what got you to this point, but what they are now and what they're going to be going forward. Remember, with the Judgment card as well, it always precedes big, massive changes in our lives, and it tends to bring either things to be assimilated up or back from the past. Sometimes it does that. And I really believe that that's the reason, right? It brings something up to say, right, you're moving into a completely different direction here. And it's really important that you finish it right, that you complete it right. And I can attest to this because I'm in a personal year 9 at the moment. And it's all about endings, it's all about completions, culminations, and everything that comes up from the past comes up so that you can really assimilate it, let it go, so that when these big changes come in, you can really start to act on them. For your actions and options, you have the Justice card. Looks like you're ready to make a big commitment this week, and for some of you, this might be a big financial commitment, maybe this is something that you were afraid to do before. One of the things that I've noticed with the Judgment card, a lot of people are quite afraid of it. Like it does incite a little bit of fear, because, when you say massive change, people are like, oh, nobody really likes change. Everyone says that they do, but not many people actually do. This, to me, it looks like there's some big commitment that's coming up. It could be a financial commitment. For some of you as well, this could be something that you now have to deliver on that you promised. Whatever that looks like to you. So maybe something that you had said, you know what, I'll be there to help you with this and this when the time comes. Well, this week the time comes. Maybe, something that you have offered to do for a boss or for a colleague or for a friend. Now, that moment where they're going to cash this in comes up for you. No, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I actually think it's great, and it looks as well like you're determined to commit to whatever it is that you said you would. For your communications and conversations, you have the 6 of Pentacles. So there are talks and communications and conversations around money and finances and transactions, which is really powerful. I mean, you've got this coupled with the Justice card, which in itself literally represents Libra, and the 6 of Pentacles has a very Libran energy to it. So, you couple that together, I actually think that's very powerful. I think it's really nice as well. So there could be some sort of help or assistance coming in. For some of you, this could be money that comes to you that you either weren't aware that you were owed. So it could be like a rebate, or a refund of some sort. For others of you, that could be somebody asking for your assistance. And, you know, remember what I said, that so this could be you literally repaying a favor of some sort. It doesn't have to be financial, but with the Six of Pentacles, it's very often material in some regard. And then for your money and materials, you have the Emperor card right underneath the Justice card. That's very interesting. So the Emperor would be Aries, and the Justice card would be Libra. So you've got this real sort of balanced dynamic energy that's going on here, which I really like for you. When it comes to your finances, you could be spending money or looking to spend money on the home in some regard this week. For some of you, this could be money that comes into you from work that you've already put out, which is, again, really nice. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your face, your head, your, you know, this general sort of region, just look after that. And it doesn't mean that, when I say this as well, like, please don't ever think like it means that you have to have an ailment like that's related to that. It's just that the card here is in likelihood speaking about something that's going to come up in one of those areas. It could just be something as really simple and mundane as a headache. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be this like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I've got, you know, it doesn't have to be awful. Sometimes it can just be really mundane. When it comes to your home and environment, this is probably a week where, and not in a bad way, but it's probably a week where in some regard, you guys are going to be putting your foot down. It's kind of like, this is my home. You know, so if you're inviting people over, try to find a way to be, you know, king of your castle, but also a good host. You know, you have to find the balance there somewhere in between. So I know, I'm laughing at this because my mother was awful. She has to put a coaster under everything. So like, if, you know, someone comes around and she's like, do you want a drink? You know, she tries to be a good host. And then when they put it down on the table without a coaster, you can see the eye roll. You know, or like the side eye. And it's like, oh, come on, you know, just be aware of that this week, because you might find yourself doing it. For your love and relations, you have the Moon card. Okay, so relationships look like they're going to be not necessarily terse, but so for you guys, Scorpio, specifically the relationship with the mother could be a little bit tense this week. For some of you, maybe it's the father, because you've got the Aries card there, but with this many what I would consider feminine cards, you know, 3 of the 2, even though the other, you know, there's more majors on the other side. For me, as I look at this, I would say this is likely to be either a challenge with the mother or a communication with the mother that gets a little bit terse. Also, it looks like you're going to be in the mood to talk about something that is quite heavy, and I'm not sure the energy is supported for it. So if you're going to bring something up, 1, check that the crowd are going to be receptive. 2, check that, you know, you wouldn't want to air your family's dirty laundry in front of Sandra from up number 42, would you? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's times and places to have certain conversations, and I think this week you just want to be mindful of that. And I say this because obviously your love and relations isn't just about partners, it's also about family relationships. So something to consider. For those of you that are single, I mean, there's definitely potential for sparks to fly. I'm just not sure they're great ones. So, you know, just be aware of that. And for those of you that are partnered, I would say with this energy, if something comes up that a partner either does or says that you don't enjoy, again, check the crowd. Is this the moment to check your partner about something? Probably not. Wait until, you know, it's just you guys and you can say, oh, you know, you did this or you said this and I didn't really like it. This is, you know, it's just one of those weeks. The Moon card is not, like, a lot of people see it and they're like, oh, you know, it's transcendent energies, and it can be that, but the Moon card is, it's not, you know, it's not actually an easy or great card, to be honest with you. Sometimes it can see things get a bit murky or a bit challenging, so just ride it out this week. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, if it's not too personal, how it goes for you. And there's a lot of major card energy here as well. When you look at that, you've got 3 for the 4, and I think you're the only sign so far this week that's had that energy. So there are going to be some big moments for you guys. All right, with that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.